Wireframes help you focus on structure and usability before visual design gets in the way. A wireframe is a simple representation of a screen or interface. It shows layout, hierarchy, and functionality without any detailed styling. In Figma, wireframes are typically created using basic shapes, texts, and frames. Color is minimal, often completely grayscale, and typography is simple. Don't go through and try to select the right typography. We're not there yet. Spacing is also really inconsistent, and that's okay. The goal of a wireframe is not to look polished. It's to answer questions like, what content goes here? What is most important on the screen? How does a user move through this interface? What type of function should I pair with this content? Wireframes are especially useful early in a project because they're fast to create and easy to change. This makes them ideal for testing ideas, gathering feedback, and aligning stakeholders. Now, wireframes can range from low fidelity to higher fidelity, and I'm going to show you some examples of that. Here's one that's pretty high fidelity, where the designer has really kind of thought about the placement of things, and you can kind of tell that spacing is paid attention to here. We also have spent time thinking about content before we've gotten into the wireframe, and that's why you see the content here. Now there's some spots where we still don't have content, and that's okay, but for the most part we can kind of see the flow of how everything is going to go. The footer, we don't have any footer yet, so we just labeled it footer. That's good to go. So it's nice to see, it's easy to see sort of where the content lives and the function that it's paired with. For example, like this frequently asked questions has this little accordion that's meant to drop down. So you can kind of start to experiment with things like that. Now, if I were to pare this down a little bit further, now say I don't have as much of the content, I could just use boxes to indicate where text is going to go. What's nice is I still have an idea of what my actions are, so I can start to lay out my content in terms of like a good hierarchy. If I know that start learning is my primary action, I can use that text in that button, but otherwise I don't really have much in terms of text. I know what my sections are going to be, so that's nice. I know what function I want this to be, so that's nice, but minimal in terms of content. I'm just sort of, again, focusing on quick ideas of layout. This example is nice because another way you could do it is by labeling and annotating. So in this example, I have laid out my content. Looks like I have a pretty good idea of the content here, maybe not in the footer just yet, maybe not the images just yet, but in terms of the actual content, we're in a pretty good space. Now, annotations are great because it helps add some more context, especially to people that are going to be viewing my wireframe and helping me to iterate on it, make decisions on it, or sort of strategize on it. So in this example, number 1, 2, 3, and 4, these are given a color, a nice bold circle, and then my notes are here on the side. And oftentimes we start here, right? Before we even dive into Figma and start wireframing, pull out a sketchbook, pull out a pen or a marker, and just start iterating on ideas. It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be figured out yet. That's the point. Wireframes create clarity before commitment. They allow designers to solve layout and flow problems early, saving time later in the design process.